everybody. Welcome to the Drum Mission once again, our weekly video that I like to put up. Okay, I was originally going to do this video and I was going to kind of like make it an addendum to what I just released on Reels. I did 90 seconds of Fool in the Rain. I was going to do a more in-depth study on that John Bonham Purdy Shuffle gig. But I was watching YouTube and something got me angry. And I thought I had to say something. Again, Mr. 80/20 guy. Why anybody watches his videos, I don't know. I know he was doing videos from like 2008 when it was just cavemen writing their videos on the wall, right? That was the first video. They wrote it on the wall. Me kill buffalo, whatever. I don't know. But ridiculous. He said some things about finding a good teacher and what you should look for in a good teacher that were so self-serving and so not true. I had to say something. Not that even 10% of the people that watch his videos are watching mine, because I'm not there yet, although we did just cross 5,000 hours of viewing. Woohoo!
Those circuses on the air. Who's your favorite clown?
Hey, that's me!
So what makes a good teacher? What makes a good teacher? All right, by the way, new glasses. And these are real glasses this time. These are for sure real glasses. These are prescription glasses. Now, I work 3 part-time jobs. I teach at Guitar Center. I gig around town, anywhere between 5 and 15 times a month. In the winter less, of course. And then I work for All Star Driver's Ed. I do about 20 hours a week with them. None of these gigs, none of those jobs pay me insurance, so I've got this through the state of Michigan. That's right. I'm a Democrat, baby, and this is my socialist medicine right here. Thank you, Governor Whitmer. Thank you. All right. I can see things I've never seen before. I looked in the mirror the first day I got them. I thought good, looks-wise, I was like a 7. I put these on, I'm like a 3. I say that joke all the time. I love that joke. I really love it. All right. It's like a self-depreciating Don Rickles kind of. All right. So what did Mr. 80/20 say that got me so angry? Let's put that aside for a second and let me tell you, and I'll rebut him as I go along. What makes a good teacher? If I was looking for a teacher, if I was young, if I was starting out, I'm looking for a good instructor, what would I look for in a good drum teacher? Number 1, how long have they been playing? How long have they been playing? Okay, I want them to be playing at least 7 years. This is the one place where I agree with Mr. 80/20, the 10,000 hour rule. I want them to put in that time on the instrument. I want to know the corners, the nooks and crannies of their instrument. I want them to have come up against things, come up against walls. I want them to have had to overcome some obstacles in their playing. I want them to know their rudiments. I want them to also have studied with another. I want them to also have studied with another. Because then they have a knowledge, maybe a working knowledge of some rudiments and some reading and all that kind of stuff. So I don't want somebody only playing for 3 years. Oh yeah, maybe they're a prodigy, maybe they are, but they still haven't come up against that wall where if it's only 2-3 years, where they got something that they just had a hard time doing and they had to find a way to get through, right? They haven't done that. And if they haven't done it, they're gonna have a hard time helping you to do it, right? So 7 years would be the minimum, right? And my first question would be, who have you studied with? Who have you studied with? Okay, that's number 1. That's where I agree with Mr. 80/20. He's not a bad player. He's not a bad player, right? And he likes to do all that 9/2/5 kind of stuff. And I'm guilty. I watch it and I work it out sometimes. He can be a good player. Although I feel like he plays without soul. There's no feeling. Why? Point 2. He doesn't gig. Do not study from someone who does not gig. He said, gigging doesn't matter. Wrong. Wrong.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Gigging matters a lot. A lot. Why? The real world gigging situation is a school that cannot be duplicated anywhere else. I don't care how much you play in your practice room and your basement, it is not the same as being on stage. And to top that off, what kind of gigs? Now, I don't say, you don't need to have Vinnie Caliuta or Steve Gadd or Dave Weckl or Danny Carey. No, you don't need to have these guys necessarily. But having a guy who gigs regularly locally, and I'm going to put a caveat on that. You don't really want, one gig Harry. You don't want him, right? Or her, right? You don't want that. You want a guy who is gigging around with several different styles. For me, for instance, any time during the year, I keep between 20 and 30 students, right? Depending on the time of year. And during the course of a month, and in the winter less, but I gig anywhere from 5 to 15, 20 times a month. In the summer, of course, it's closer to 20. In the winter, of course, it's closer to 5. But in the last month, if I go back 1 month, I played with a swing band, a cocktail band, a 80s, 90s top 40 band, a Beatles tribute band, right? And my regular Tasha Owens, who's kind of a harder hitting blues band. I mean, she closes her show with Zeppelin. So that's a wide range of styles. And then I've got my personal practicing, and I've got my teaching. So I'm constantly playing and constantly being inundated with different styles. For example, sometimes my kids that I teach will mention someone like Slipknot, Jay Weinberg, who I have an appreciation for because I'm a fan of his dad. His dad plays for Bruce Springsteen, Max Weinberg, and I will learn a Slipknot thing for them. So I have a wide range of styles that I can impart. But more than that, I've done every gig, and I have had everything happen to me on gigs that could happen. I've been through the war, and I've won the battles, and I've lost a few battles, and I can teach from my failures and my successes. If you're playing in your basement, you don't have that. Also, the one gig Harry thing, if you've got, we used to call them on cruise ships, jazz Nazis. Jazz Nazis. Mr. 8020 is a jazz Nazi. If it isn't jazz, Dr. Evil. I only play jazz. I just play jazz. Okay. I like jazz. My collection is very wide open. Everything from the Beatles to Zeppelin, to Miles Davis, to Buddy Rich, to Dizzy, Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Chick Corea, it's all in there, right? Again, I have a wide palette of styles I like, and I have a wide palette of styles in my record collection, and now, do I have fortes? Yes. Do I think I'm a much better rock player than I am a jazz player? Yes. But if you call me for your jazz gig, can I get you through? You betcha. And I can impart that. How do I do that? Right? If you got a guy that's doing just one style, right? It's like a person who only makes eggs, scrambled eggs. You want him teaching you how to cook? He'll be able to tell you how to make scrambled eggs, but you want to learn how to make pasta. He can't do that, right? So, or she. So, you don't want one gig Harry. You don't want the guy who plays in his basement. You want the guy who's gigging on a regular basis. A local gigger is fine. Fine. A lot of times I get called last minute and I have to learn a show. I have to learn 20, 30 tunes. There are secrets to doing that. There are tricks to doing that. This is what I do. You want that guy to impart his wisdom. Drum lessons are more than just the mechanics. It is also about the wisdom. Right, Vince? Thanks, Vince. Number 3, temperament. Temperament. First, putting temperament aside, you don't want to do Zoom lessons. Zoom lessons are a bad idea if you're a beginner. Zoom lessons are a good idea if you already have your fundamentals down and you just want to learn how to do a particular groove or how to do a particular technique or maybe a philosophy or maybe a different way of looking at things. That's fine for Zoom. But beginners, as an instructor, I can't really see what they're doing. I can't really see if they're forming bad habits. I can't really hear it. So bad idea. Bad idea to use any kind of, teach any kind of beginner on Zoom. But one-on-one is the best way, but temperament is very important from your teacher. Because these two things are true about the music, about the drumming. These two things are true. One, yes, am I concerned that my students are holding their sticks right, that their double stroke rolls sound good, that their singles sound good, that they're getting a handle on the bounce. So yes, that one part of their fundamentals, am I serious about it? If they get it down, yes. But 2, it's fun. Sometimes my students come in and I say, okay, forget the books today. We're just going to take the next hour and we are going to just play tunes. And I'll crank a whole bunch of tunes on YouTube Music. That's the one I use. And stuff I think they can do. And we'll just play tunes for the hour or half hour or whatever it is that I'm teaching them, right? Because it's fun. I want them to get used to just kind of jumping in and jamming with the tune and having fun. If I wasn't having fun, I'd be a banker or something, or a bank teller. I always wanted to be a banker. Always wanted to be a banker. That's a Seinfeld thing. All right. You know I'm going to put the clip in. Even if I get hit by copyright, whatever. I don't care.
I was very upset that day because I could never become a banker.
And this failure to become a banker was eating at you, eating at you inside.
Yeah.
It was your family that pushed you into banking. It was their dream for you. But you never became a banker, did you, Mr. Kramer? Why? Why did you fail?
All right. So, temperament. So those are the 3 things. Someone who has been playing at least 7 years. Someone who is gigging around locally at least. Maybe nationally too, yeah. But who has played many different styles of music and does play many different styles of music on a regular basis. And 3rd, they're fun. And they know that drumming is fun. And they can impart to you, yes, the right way to do the mechanics, the right way to do the rudiments, and how much fun it is. And you can have, and when you leave your lesson, you leave feeling good. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to leave you with a little clip from my Beatles band. I saw her standing there, just a piece of it, and we'll probably start it and go out on that. Anyway, see you on the next one. Look for me on Facebook Reels. I'm putting up stuff on that now. I'm really going to push for this channel because By the end of the year, 1,000 subscribers. Yippee! See you on the next one.